Diecast North is a channel devoted to the teen to adult toy collector, pop culture fans, and fellow nerd enthusiasts. This is a PG-13 channel. I might say some shit. Viewer and parental discretion is advised. Hello to all of you, my champions! Welcome to Diecast North's Galactic Hooligan! And I appreciate you all for coming over here and distracting me because I am waiting in front of my door like a stalker right now and everything, because I'm actually waiting for my Dinobot sludge to actually finally come in and everything, thus completing some more of my Dinobots up here. I decided to do a video on Transformers Legacy JHIAXUS. He is actually a character that's been like a lot of people have actually been waiting for, and everybody has actually been talking about him like he is the holy grail. So I just wanted to check him out myself and everything, and as always, evil should always wear yellow, but why not the good guys, huh? Why not? Why can't you make one good yellow guy, except for, I mean, you had Bumblebee, but I mean, more. There has to be more. Anyway, we're going to check this guy out. Welcome to my show, and I appreciate the distraction, everyone. You don't know. Anyway, let's get on with the review. If this is your 97th time dialing into me, welcome again. I appreciate all your support and everything. It just means so much to me. And if this is your first time coming into the show, welcome to the show. I appreciate you all. I would appreciate each and every one of you to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Also, share me around and everything, because I am looking for more followers, more viewers, and I would really appreciate the support for my channel. I plan on doing some things interesting sooner or later. So let's leave you along with a little bit of that enticement, and let's get on with the review. As I said before, I've actually been waiting all day for Sludge to actually pop in and everything. And it's not like I haven't been busy doing other things or anything like that. I was actually just waiting for that dude. And Amazon's actually been toying with my emotions since last week and everything, telling me that it's not going to be coming in until August, and then today. So let's see what happens today and everything like that. And hopefully it won't get him in a distraught package. But until then, I am entertaining myself with JHIAXUS. He is a Marvel Comics character, and I'm actually kind of like really surprised to actually see him myself and everything, you know? This box is just really, really cool. I am really digging this starship mode and everything, you know? Like, we don't get a lot of starfighters or anything like that, and I'm actually really happy to see that we're finally getting something that's like more in the sci-fi realm for Legacy and everything, you know? And I really, really love this. This is actually making me like more anticipative of what we're actually going to be getting with Cosmos and everything. And everybody's actually doubting him for looking like a trash can and everything like that. But I'm actually still waiting for more things that are actually devoted to the stars and everything. And this guy, I actually felt the same way about Jetfire, you know? Like, this guy actually belongs in the stars, and he is evil, you know? Like, look at this guy. This face is just like really fantastic and everything. And again, I am going to keep on saying it. The artist who actually is in charge of doing this is just really phenomenal. Their line work and everything that actually goes into this is actually just like, it's just really super, you know? So I'm actually going to put this over here, and in flies JHIAXUS like a bat out of the inferno. This guy is actually really, really cool, and it really just kind of like makes me say that evil always wears yellow sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, this is actually such a badass composition and everything for JHIAXUS and everything like that, you know? I love this elongated like nose cone and everything. I love this. But let's get the bat out of the way first before we actually start really falling in love with him and everything, because like a lot of people have actually really been loving this guy and everything. I mean, really loving this guy. And I know how everyone feels about waffling. But let me ask you, like, the one thing that I actually kind of like have to say is that this has to be the most egregious waffle I've ever seen, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of wish that we actually had a way of covering this up, but then I don't know if the plastic count would have actually been like really there to like actually cover everything. And another thing also is that I'm not enjoying the fact that this is all clear plastic all around here and everything, all painted clear plastic. And I actually just had an incident with clear plastic where it actually broke on me and everything on one of these, I think it was RC. It was actually on the first edition RC, where she actually had like a peg or two that actually broke. And then again with a, oh man, what's his name again? Oh, a drift that I actually had from the movie line and everything that actually broke because like some of the inner mechanisms are actually all clear plastic. So I really, really kind of like implore Hasbro to kind of like maybe change a little bit and everything and just kind of like use clear plastic where it's actually warranted and everything. Like the windows are great. I really love this. I really love the fact that you actually have this really beautiful clear transplant, this really cool transparent plastic right over here. And I love the colors that's actually being used. That is a solid yellow, and I don't know exactly what they actually did to create this kind of magic. It actually kind of has like kind of a sheen to it and everything, and it matches along with what's actually going on down here and everything too. I really love that. But then again, you actually have the clear plastic and everything also, and I really wonder what that's actually going to do for the longevity of certainly of these figures and everything. I wonder that about Bulkhead. I wonder that about like say Prowl and like the Fair Lady Z Brothers and everything, because like they actually have parts that are actually on their joints that are actually made with the clear plastic and everything. I actually worry that this is actually going to break away and everything eventually. Like these kind of things are actually kind of like what kind of like worries the collector who actually wants these for longevity and everything, you know? So I really hope that actually kind of changes. The windows, yes, that was actually wonderful. I love the fact that you actually did the windows, and this was spectacular. But there's no reason why this couldn't have actually been reinforced or anything. You know what I mean? Like I really think that that's actually that would have actually been awesome. But aside from that, that's the only bad that I actually have for it and everything. I'm pretty sure there's a 3D person that'll actually cover this up. But what I actually do to cover this up is I actually use the gun. This is actually a little bit of parts forming and everything, of course. You know, you actually have like all the weaponry right over here. And this is actually one of his smaller arms and everything. That's actually really cool. This is actually one of his bigger arms. That's actually really cool and everything also. I love this pulse rifle look. You could combine them together or leave them apart, and they actually, and there are plenty of ports on JHIAXUS to actually make that fit. But also, we actually have this. Now this is like a little bit of parts forming also. This actually kind of like makes his scanner array for his robot mode and everything. And you actually take that off. It's actually really easy to take off and put back on again and everything. It's actually supported by this peg. And there is a peg hole right over here that you can actually put this in the back of this gun here. And you actually have this, which I think is actually great. So you can actually kind of like store those right under there, and I think that actually makes a good way to block all the blemishes that are actually like right under here and everything, and give a little bit more weight to actually what's going on in here, so you don't see like a whole see-through cavern right over there and everything. So there we go. But aside from that, this is a very cool design actually. I love all of this over here. I love like all the cabling and everything that's actually in here. It kind of makes me think he's actually kind of like brazenly blasting off and everything like that in fighter jet mode and everything, mind you, with all his electronics in here and everything, saying, I bet you can't find the green wire. Which one's going to cut me off? Which one is actually going to destroy me? And he doesn't care, you know, like, look at this. That's actually great. I love how that's actually really colored and everything, and I love this. The thrusters are actually superb. All of that is actually Blast Effects compatible. I love the bat wings over here and everything. By the way, I'm actually going to get some Blast Effects. I'll be right back. Now, I didn't want to say that he was actually Blast Effects compatible without showing you that he was a Blast Effects compatible, you know what I mean? So, like, he actually looks great there. I really, really am digging that so much. And there we go in the back, Blast Effects compatible, although these are actually like a lot weaker for these blast effects and everything, and I'm not exactly sure if there's like a different measurement that's actually going on back here. So like, I really think that if you're actually putting any more weight to the back of the thrusters, they're actually just going to fall off and everything altogether. In fact, just let me test that really fast, because I just want to make sure that that theory is actually sound, or maybe it's not as sound as I actually thought it was. But there we go. Let me just put those on and fix this arm up. There we go. And that looks amazing right there. Again, it's actually like a lot weaker and everything. So let me I must have actually put it in a lot better than I thought. There we go, and just let me turn this around, and there we are. You actually have JHIAXUS in his starship mode blasting off, and that is just really, really cool. I really love that so much. You know, like, that is actually great. Again, I don't have an issue with like what's actually going on with the design or anything like that. It's just the final results and everything with the clearer plastic that's actually going on in the front here and everything. And right over here in the back also and everything, you actually still have that clear plastic. So I really wish that they would actually reinforce things a lot more and everything. I'm not expecting to like gorilla my transformer here and everything like that and throw him against like a brick wall or anything like that by any means, you know. But you know, with weather, with conditions, with like, say, like air conditioning and like the heat of like people's houses and everything like that, you know, there are a lot of things that could possibly go wrong and everything. And I just really wish that they would actually fix this, you know. But let us take a look through this one more time. Just a brilliant design though. Just a really, really brilliant design. I really love this. Anyway, let me go on into comparisons. And before we actually go into comparisons, just let me show you what he actually looks like without that little gun portion and everything. He really looks cool. I really like him. But again, I think just for science fiction facts, just for science fiction sakes, let's just like leave him with armaments, and there we go. And first figure that I'm actually going to be pulling out is JHIAXUS from the old, what is it? This is a Generations JHIAXUS actually, and really, sorry about that everybody, really, like this JHIAXUS compared to the other is actually very apples to oranges and everything. So this is actually like kind of like the newer G1, I'm actually really kind of considering calling this guy a G1 figure and everything. We never got a G1 figure of JHIAXUS or anything like that. This one actually came out with the Generations and everything. It's actually kind of like the upgrade to Starscream and everything for Armada Starscream, you know, so like that's why he actually has these thrusters back here and everything. But still yet though, we actually got this design in Marvel Comics and everything, and it's actually really great to see exactly how well they actually followed the Marvel Comics design and everything. Not so much for the jet mode, but for the robot mode. We're gonna get into that in just another second, but that is just really, really beautiful right there. JHIAXUS and Thundercracker over here, and they look great together. I just wanted to like take this out for this kind of like similarity of the jet design and everything like that. We are actually kind of like getting a newer brand of Seeker, it looks like, and everything. And I would really love to see exactly how these would actually look like in Seeker colors and everything, you know? I'm pretty sure there may be a couple of people who are actually going to repaint this guy to whatever they were actually going to repaint them to and everything. But that we actually have the F-15 Eagle as opposed to whatever the hell this guy's actually supposed to be and everything. But like, this is actually really, really cool. I love this so much. And here goes Optimus Prime and Jhiaxus, and look at the way these guys actually look together. I love the way they actually fit and scale over here and everything. We actually have a Cybertronian jet mode with, or Cybertronian starfighter mode with, an Earth mode truck. And this is actually really, really cool. I love the way this actually fits in together. My Optimus Prime actually does come with Megatron upgrade, or at least that's what I'm actually calling it and everything, because this is the way I actually bought these guys and everything. So this is Netflix Prime, and I really, really love the way they look together. That is just solid. Anyway, I'm going to give you a quick transformation, and then we're going to continue. Transformation for Jhiaxus from this fantastic looking jet mode into robot mode is actually really cool and really simple, but it doesn't come without a couple of like breakups here and there and everything. So as the only point of parts forming here and everything, we're actually just going to break up the gun over here and leave it in 3 pieces and put it to this side. And now we're going to continue working with Jhiaxus here. Now, his wings usually should go underneath as per the instructions, you know? But what I actually usually do is I put the wings over here and everything, gives him a little bit more. I think it actually built up his wings a lot more, actually, and I really like that a lot. But we are going to just move the wings right over here. We're going to detach his feet from the thrusters right in the back. We're going to move his arms. I'm just situating things for transformation. Just break the nose cone right over here. And when you actually put the nose cone in, it makes such a satisfying snap. I really like that. I just hope it's not a snap to breakage, you know? But we'll actually just unclick that. We are going to separate his arms right over here. Let us break this apart. Oh, actually, before we do that, we're going to unclip the wings down here. They actually do clip right down into his leg. And we just want to move all of this over. And we'll put this wing in here, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. And we'll put this wing right in here, and we'll leave that for now. And I just want to give myself enough room. So after that, we'll break this apart, and we'll remove these from 2 solid pegs that are actually right underneath, right on the back. And these are actually part of his shins, so we are going to move all of this down here and move this. And we're going to take this part of his legs and accordion it down. There we go. And then put the wing, the back wings right, the tail fin right in the back here. That is actually great. I really love how solidly that's actually done. And then we're going to move the feet down, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We'll move the feet, we'll accordion this down here, and then we're just going to move that tail fin right over here, and that's actually really wonderful. We'll swing the whole entire we'll swing the whole entire waist around. We're going to bring this whole entire piece down. We're actually just going to unclip it right from there and there. And also, still another point of worry and everything, you know? But there we go. We'll actually do this. As we're doing this, let us bring this whole thing back so we can actually get the head out and swing the head around. And there goes his diabolical head right there. And what's happening? Oh, I see what happened there. There. When I actually forced it in and everything like that, it actually did unclip his head. So there we go. Just like swing it around and then put it right back in here. I'm gonna have to keep use that a little bit later. But let's see, as we're doing that, we'll take this radar array right over here and bring it all the way out while putting this nose cone in right there. And we'll clip all of this right in here. There's a little clip that actually goes right in. Let's see if I can get it in here. There we go. Now we have a solid link there, and we'll bring all of this up and we'll actually clip the wings right in here. And there's a soft clip that actually there are like a couple of pegs that actually really secures those wings right there. So let's do this on the other side, soft clip this up, and then bring this whole entire thing right over here. That'll actually peg right into the back. We'll open up these hands and bring those out and clip them right there. And again, we'll actually do this on the other side. Let us just open this up, pull out the hands. By the way, really great looking hands here. And we'll clip this, and then there we go. And for the last piece of measure right over here, we are going to take this little piece and we'll put it right over here. Now, if you actually unclip it, if you actually didn't want to remove this, you don't have to. And it'll actually work just fine. Just like when you're actually putting everything together, just make sure you actually just put this in halfway the way you'd actually want to. But there we go. We actually now have JHIAXUS in his robot mode. Now let's continue. JHIAXUS in his robot mode looks really intimidating. He actually does look like he is the Decepticon that he actually wants to be. G2 Decepticon symbol right there prominently in front. And this guy looks great. I'm telling you, this face over here looks like he's actually been sucking on like quite a few lemons and everything like that to give him that grimace and disdain for life, you know? But look at this. I really love that Decepticon symbol. In the G2 comics, I think that they were actually calling him a Cybertron because he actually goes off with like a whole bunch of like, he takes a crew and goes off and everything into deep space and everything. And like, they call them Cybertrons, but I'm actually venturing to start calling this G2 symbol right over here Destrons right over here, you know, because like I really think that that is actually great, and I really love the thought of using the Japanese word for the Decepticons and everything here. But this guy is actually really cool. I am loving everything that's actually going on here. He is actually full of great detail. He doesn't, and in robot mode, he doesn't waffle at all or anything like that. You know, there are like, clearly everything has actually been covered over here, you know, and he just looks like he actually stepped out of the Marvel Comics cartoon. I mean, the Marvel Comics, excuse me. But like, he is just really cool. A lot of people could not stop gushing over him whatsoever or anything like that when it actually came down to the fact that we actually finally have a JHIAXUS here and everything. And a lot of people that were actually into the Marvel Comics and everything are still kind of like, wow, we got a JHIAXUS in our hands, you know? This guy is actually really great. I'm loving this scope array right over here. I love this whole head sculpt. This whole head sculpt is actually just like really cool. I'm actually I took mine right out of the box and started playing around with him and everything. So I haven't tightened any joints whatsoever or anything like that. So like what you see is what you're getting right over here in your full value. Now, when I actually first transformed him and everything into jet mode, his head actually did come off, and then in order to make it fit into the jet cockpit right all together and everything, you want to make sure that his head is actually being able to be visible there and everything. If you actually do decide to transform him with his head turned, then you would actually have to like maybe sacrifice a couple of things and everything like that, including taking his head out of the socket and everything for his whole entire for his forearms to actually make a complete to make a complete connection. But this guy is actually really cool. I'm loving all of like the detailing here and everything. He's actually loaded with like lots of great stuff. This yellow over here is actually very cool. I would love to see that on like an Autobot and everything all together and everything too, you know. Now you know where my affiliation's actually going over to. I love the hands. The hands are actually really cool also and everything. And I'm actually really surprised to see this on a Voyager figure, or no less, and everything. These are the hands that I think Prime should have actually gotten and everything all together. You know, like Leader Class Prime should have actually kind of like came in with like a little bit more of a heftier hand and everything, you know what I mean? But like this is really cool. The back, it's not lacking for detailing either or anything, you know. What actually just kind of worries me also is like all this white plastic and everything. So I'm actually waiting to see exactly what happens over time and everything like that, because a lot of people have actually kind of like shared their chagrin with like, say, Shattered Glass Starscream and everything with like yellowing and like jazz and that sort of thing. And I know a lot of it actually has to deal with like the temperature we actually keep our places in and everything. But that's actually like all, I mean, I don't know, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, because like even if he actually does kind of yellow and everything, maybe with the yellow paint and everything like that and green, it might match along with him and everything like that. Who knows? I hope mine actually doesn't start yellowing, and I hope yours doesn't either or anything. Let me point my finger over this way. I hope yours doesn't also and everything, and I hope that you guys actually have a lot of success keeping this guy and everything, because again, it's the clear plastic that that always worries me. Great design. Those legs are just really, really cool. Again, carrying along all of this cybernetic design and everything. I really dig that. As far as the guns are actually concerned, you actually have a lot of different options with where you actually put them and everything. You can actually put them over here. You know, you actually have like both hands. This is actually supposed to be his Energon weapon, and they actually painted that really well. That's actually really beautiful. So I'm just gonna put that in here. Again, I still haven't kikied everything, so everything, all the tolerances are like all over the place and everything, but it's really not that bad. If you decided to go along without kikis or anything like that, you would actually still be okay. Let's see. Blast effects, check. Oh, hold on, just let me do this, because if I actually decided to like go with the other blast effect and everything, I'm pretty sure it's actually going to be like a little bit more unstable, but there we go. Blast effects, and I'm actually kind of surprised that this little gun is actually blast effects compatible also. So that's actually really cool and really fun, you know? And I love the fact that we can actually still use blast effects and everything on like all the newer figures and everything. I really wish you guys over at Hasbro would actually make more blast effects and everything, because they're still really cool and they're still really relevant and everything. So like there's no reason why we shouldn't actually have these or anything like that, or like a newer grouping. I'm actually kind of surprised that he didn't actually come with his own or anything, you know? But that's actually all there is to that, you know? And again, the, oh, this is actually something else that you can actually do with it. I think that there was a part of one of the comics where he actually wears his gun like this, and then you just take this off, and then you kind of like plug it right in here. And that's actually kind of cool too and everything. Give him a little bit of Megatron action and everything. And also, the fact that you have so many different points where you could actually put these weapons. You could even like say like take this gun and kind of like plug it right over here, and it actually fits right on his shin, right on his leg altogether. So he isn't like really scraping the barrel, like the front of the nozzle right over here or anything like that, you know? And depending on like how you're actually keeping his feet, or you can actually kind of like put it like right on his arm over here for safekeeping and everything. You actually have, hold on, just going to put this over here. And you also have this thing right over here where you can actually keep his gun like right over here on his back. So he is really filled with like a lot of options for being able to keep his weapons and everything. And I really like that a lot. His articulation is, let's see, you actually have like a 360 on the head, uninhibited. Over here, it's actually like kind of loose and everything like that. You know, I'm not sure if that's actually going on with all of your other products, but there you go. You actually have like, you can go out that far with that, with how his shoulders actually like knock into the rest of his armament and everything, so that's okay. You actually have a 360 right over here, kind of hindered by the wings. You have rotation at the bicep, so that's actually really cool. You have a lot of elbow over here and everything because he actually lifts up like a badass and everything like that. It's a lot more over 90 degrees and everything, and that's actually really great on a single hinge. You actually have wrist rotation right over here. That's great. You have like the opening and closing fist here and everything, and that's really, really nice. I love that so much. You have waist rotation right over here, so that's actually really great, and you can actually do a 360, do the transformation. That's awesome. You have a high kick right over here, and I love the way they actually did the pelvis right over here also and everything. Because of the plastic and because of like the look, it doesn't look like it actually like doesn't really disrupt anything whatsoever or anything like that, so that's great. Now I thought that there was like because of the fact that we don't have like any bars or anything like that, we don't have any panels over here, we don't have anything to disrupt that whatsoever, but the one thing that actually does disrupt the back kick is itself right over here. So like if you actually go like this, there is no way that you're actually going to be able to like do a decent back kick or anything like that because of the way this actually stops right over the pelvis. So that's actually kind of sad, but at the same time, it's not really the worst thing or anything like that. So that's actually one minus off that whole entire thing. But he actually does have a thigh rotation right over here. It actually makes things a little difficult only because the way that these thighs are actually cut and everything. So that's actually okay. We actually have a more than 90 degrees of knee articulation right over here, so that's great. We also have an ankle tilt, the customary ankle tilt, so that's actually really cool. And a little bit of dorsiflexion, so that's great. So like all in all, he is actually, JHIAXUS is actually really, really cool. And I'm actually really surprised that JHIAXUS actually came out from our Hasbro line and a Takara line and everything, instead of like coming out through like a third party and everything. This is actually really great, and he's actually, I mean, as much as I'd actually complain about the waffling of the jet mode and everything like that, and the plastic bits, the clear plastic bits and everything like that that encompass his torso, everything else is actually great, and I really love the fact that he is actually the character he actually is, and that Hasbro and Takara actually be third party to doing a character like this of this magnitude. He wasn't somebody that we needed, but it was somebody that we needed, you know, at the same time, you know what I mean? Like, I'm actually super, super shocked. He's super great. And I'm going to take you into a couple of comparisons. All right, comparison time. Here goes JHIAXUS and JHIAXUS Thundercracker, and JHIAXUS and Optimus Prime with my stand-in Megatron in this one. I kind of like really need to get like a small little Decepticon symbol for this guy over here and everything. But look at how well these guys actually scale. They are brilliant. You know, I really love this JHIAXUS. I really, really do. Like, as much as I actually like kind of like talk down about like some of these stuff that actually kind of like worries me, he's really 100% brilliant, you know? I'm gonna give you final thoughts in just a moment. From super kitsch and obscure character of G2 writing that actually suggested that a whole entire team was actually gonna be axed, to reality and popularity and something that's actually in our hands right now, JHIAXUS is actually pretty amazing. I really think everybody should actually get one. Yeah, I think he's actually great. He's an obscure character nobody else thought that we were actually going to have. Then I was actually hanging out with a bunch of guys that had a bunch of JHIAXUS's in their hands, and we all still can't believe that this guy's actually a reality. Yeah, he's awesome. His plastic quality is superb. But beware that he actually does come with clear plastic pieces on the front and back. So if he actually has a nasty fall, he could actually be done. If he actually has like, there could actually be weather reasons or like temperature reasons why the plastic could actually wear away. But you would actually really owe it to yourself to have a JHIAXUS in hand. I think he's great. I think you should get him. And that is it for me today. I really appreciate you all once again joining me for my trip through nerddom. I really cannot wait for Sludge to actually come in. I'm gonna go back to stalking the door again and waiting for him at my door and everything because, like, I think that my postmaster is actually still on his way and everything like that, and I'm actually timing him right now and everything. So I'm gonna go do a Scott Pilgrim at the door. But enjoy your days. I really hope that you actually have excellent days. I really hope that you're treating yourselves and each other with kindness because, damn it, we actually really need kindness out there in the world flourishing. So make sure to pass that on to yourselves and to each other. And also remember, when these stop being magical, that's when I'll stop collecting. I'll definitely talk to you soon.